Hey everybody, we are back here in the garage at Simple Acre Homestead, and I want to do a little follow-up video for you. So we released a few days ago a video on a no-waste brooder, and it is basically no waste. It is true. However, there is a however. What we have found is it works great for chicks and quail chicks, like chickens and quail. They seem to work, it seems to function very well for them because they're the type of bird that scratches and digs around and basically stirs it up, so it seems to stay drier and it works well that way. We're finding for the ducks and the geese, not so much. What happens is, because they're so into their water and they don't scratch around, right, all they do is, so it just packs and basically almost smells like it starts to ferment because everything gets so wet. So the reason I'm telling you that partly is because I'm setting up a bigger brooder, and you'll see that I'm going back to shavings because this brooder is going to be for the American buff geese. They're simply growing so fast, they're outgrowing the brooder that we keep them in the kitchen in the house, and like I mentioned a minute ago, they kind of stink. So okay, they really stink. They got to get out of there. So we're gonna bring them in here, and we're going back to shavings with a tarp underneath, try to catch all the as much of the moisture and everything as we can. I've got a big water dish set up for them in the corner, a food dish. I'm gonna have to use a heat lamp because our temperatures are still kind of dropping a bit here and there. Speaking of which, I need to put a bulb in there before I go and grab those geese, because who doesn't want to see the geese? I'm sure you guys do. So let me get this in, and we will go, and I'll get Cindy to give me a hand. We'll bring the geese out and let you guys see our Bobby, we call Bobby, and the little Bobbies. I also want to mention the other reason I want to go back to shavings out here is we don't want to encourage the mice and the rats, because this is basically on the floor, just some wood thrown together. It's a buffet meant for the birds, not for the critters. So with that in mind, we've just kind of gone back to this. But like I said, it doesn't really work very well for the geese and the ducks anyway. I do recommend it for the chickens, however. We're going to stick with that because we find they mix it up, and it almost seems to stay clean longer. So okay guys, we're gonna go and grab those, and we'll let you see the buff geese. They're gonna enjoy this space because they're so crowded now that it's almost they're irritating each other. They're grabbing each other by the butt and in the way of each other, and so this should be much more comfortable for them. Maybe straight in front. Everybody's excited. They moved around. I can't say I blame them. All right, so we're gonna put them in here, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be pretty happy, and you guys will be able to see that. But the other thing about having this big space is hopefully they'll allow them to be a little bit cleaner, because being in this small condensed spot with the 6 of them, it's really starting to take a toll on their ability to stay clean. So I'm going to start with Bobby, if I can get him. Hey, Bobby. All right, guys, check out your new spot. It's okay. All right, guys, lots of room for you. Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone. They're here. There you go. So there's a lot more room for them in here, guys. As you get a look at these geese, you'll notice that some of them have a tufted head. So what we found out from the owner, or the people we bought them off of, is that some of them are, they call it a tufted buff goose. So they'll actually have a bit more hair on top of their head. They're supposed to be a little bit rarer, so from what I can understand online, they don't seem to even notice the water. They're still checking out their surroundings. They're used to a very small container. Bobby. He's starting to get his feathers. Look at this. Does it scare you? Yeah, you found it. Always thirsty. Alright, so they found their food and water. Okay guys, so as you can see, I think we managed to get them some more room here. I think another 3 or 4 weeks. I think by the time they're, from what I understand, if I read correctly, by the time they're 5-6 weeks old, they should be fully feathered. Bobby here will be 4 weeks this weekend, I believe, tomorrow. These other guys are only 11 days younger, so I think in the next few weeks you'll start seeing them all feather out. Bobby does have some feathers coming. They're just really hard to see. And I'm hoping he doesn't pull that tarp in on them, but we'll see how they do here. I might have to just kind of tack it to the sides at worst case scenario, but this should be good for them for a little bit longer. Get a few more weeks in here, and eventually when the weather warms up outside, I'll get them in a tractor out there. And when they're actually bigger, then we'll get them out loose in the front yard within a fenced area. And hopefully they'll be happy. But this should serve well for the next little while. Guys, if you don't mind, give us a thumbs up. If you don't mind sharing with your friends, if they're interested in this kind of stuff. And we can always look for new subscribers. We'd love to have you join our channel and follow along. And we'd love to see you next time, okay? Thank you.